I'm curious to hear what Ariana has to say about what types of things our clients can do if they're worried that there might be a dispute upon their death.
That's a good question. So for a client, so there are some less extreme things that they can do to more extreme. So one of the easiest things that a client can do is after creating their estate plan, they could draft a letter in their either handwriting or in their own words, just explaining why they made the decisions that they made for their beneficiaries.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, this generally doesn't arise when mom's estate plan says, I leave everything equally to my 3 children. It's when there's some asymmetry or, I'm leaving more to this child, less to this child, that kind of thing. You can kind of see from the plan, there's a potential for somebody to be unhappy. Because people don't challenge estate plans when they're happy with them.
Right, absolutely. When there's an unnatural disposition or a weird distribution that maybe the children do not approve of or don't like, or they're reducing their share. Yeah, if a client is worried that something like that, and maybe there's a little bit more than just a letter, they could also obtain. These are more the extreme scenarios, but they could obtain a certificate of independent review, which is a review by just an impartial attorney. They could also go to court and petition the court to approve of the estate plan itself.
Okay. So those are requiring the client to take a few extra steps that most people don't do with their estate plans. Most people, the attorney writes the estate plan and they go home and they don't go visit yet another attorney to kind of validate it. But okay. I've heard of people who go and have a neuropsych evaluation done on themselves so that in the future, there's a record that on the day I signed this document, my brain was okay.
Right, definitely. And I think that that's a good tool to use, especially if you anticipate there's a question regarding your capacity or there's any concern that one of the either beneficiaries or disinherited beneficiaries is going to make that trouble in the future. I did have a case when I was a litigator where a client, the decedent, actually, the person who passed away, knew that her child was going to be unhappy with the distribution. So she actually did take these steps, wrote the letter explaining her decisions, ended up taking the neuropsychological examination right before executing the estate plan. And that was just so impactful and so helpful for later on. Lo and behold, the son did challenge the trust based off of a lack of capacity. And that neuropsych exam was really, really impactful because it showed that she had her mental faculties. She was cognitively aware during that time of execution of the instruments.
Yeah. And unlike petitioning the court, it's something that you do on your own. You do it privately. Mm-hmm. The children aren't going to be made aware of it unless there's a problem after you pass away, most likely.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Absolute Trust Talk Live. If you enjoyed listening in, then don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen by searching Absolute Trust Talk. While you're there, we would also love for you to leave us a review. And then why not share your favorite episodes with family, friends, or colleagues too? You can find all of our shows and corresponding show notes by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com. You'll also find a variety of other free resources, including our ebooks, videos, blogs, presentations, and more. If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com/scheduling. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our next live episode. If you join us for the broadcast, you can submit questions during the show. But if not, don't worry. You can always get in touch with us by sending a quick message to info@absolutetrustcounsel.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you soon.